it's happened immediately! This is amazing!
They touch Martin, Hamilton and Vettel has been spun round!
Oh, what's happened? Damon's lost it, has he?
And there's Max Verstappen right behind Hamilton into the first chicane. Once again, it's wheel to wheel. Hamilton and Verstappen, and this time Verstappen and Hamilton have crashed out, and they are both out. The two championship protagonists have taken each other out of the Italian Grand Prix.
What a bizarre incident. Absolutely bizarre.
They're going to be talking about this incident for a long, long time to come.
I think they'll go down as a racing incident. I believe Verstappen had the right to go around the outside, and they've just met in the middle there. They were both on the racetrack. Hamilton then getting feisty there down into the turn 10 hairpin, and he's got the job done, but Massa will come back up the inside and he spins Hamilton off. Massa held his ground, and Hamilton is going to wait for the whole field to go through. He'll be at the back. Yeah, Massa was always going to come back up the inside, but you have to say, looking at from that angle, Massa was a long way off the road, wasn't he? So Lewis thinks he's got the job done there, and Massa comes back across the grass and taps him round. Massa had got a lot more grass there than I first realised.
Well, he was off the racetrack and drove over the top of the curbs to come back onto the racetrack and hit Hamilton.
Vettel pulling a move, and Webber's left the door wide open.
Oh dear, they've come together! Webber and Vettel have come together. That's Vettel going out, Webber going out. What was going on there? Extraordinary. We were just saying about how they would race together. Well, suddenly this race has turned. We've no need for rain. We've just got drama on the track. The two Red Bulls connect. Out goes Sebastian Vettel, and Hamilton and Button push on for McLaren.
What a stupid action! I'm going home.
Whose fault was that? They just seemed to merge towards each other, if anything, didn't they? A little Webber slightly left, Vettel slightly right.
Yeah, there's some frustration. You know, it's it's the first time in my career that we've had a problem with a teammate. But in terms of when so much was at stake. But anyway, hopefully there'll be water under the bridge at the end of the year.
Alongside Vettel, oh so close, he'll struggle to get round there.
They touch Martin, Hamilton and Vettel has been spun round. Disaster for Sebastian Vettel at the start of this race. He touched with Lewis Hamilton going through the chicane. Hamilton came off best. Sebastian Vettel losing places, he's down in 18th.
2 into 1 wouldn't go, there's just not enough space through there, but Hamilton hung it around the outside, and somehow it's Vettel that went around and has lost some bodywork for good measure.
Michael Schumacher has spun off. He was side by side with Juan Montoya, and the two made contact down at the Dunlop hairpin.
Michael inevitably having to go defensive on the inside, and so Montoya says, no problem, I'll have a go down the outside. Squeezes Michael in, they touch, and how Michael spun and Juan Pablo didn't, I have no idea. It's the Williams that should be gyrating, not the Ferrari.
And it's Nico Rosberg, and Hamilton's onto the grass, and Hamilton's had a massive crash, and he's crashed into his teammate. The two Mercedes come together as Hamilton tried to pass on the inside.
Lewis gets such a launch off the top of turn 3, and I'm afraid Nico Rosberg has got to take every bit as much blame for that as Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis closed in, and I saw him coming, so I closed the door, to defend my position. And the next thing is him spinning on the grass and taking me out, and we ended up in the gravel trap.
I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to move forwards and hope for the best.
Hamilton gets another slipstream all the way down the old pit straight. These are critical corners for this Grand Prix.
Hamilton's going to try again, this time on the inside, a consonant touch! Verstappen is out of the race, and that's a big crash into Copse! Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen coming together. Hamilton continues on. Could Hamilton have done anything to give Max Verstappen room there and avoid that crash? He was on the inside, of course.
Always try to be measured in how I approach, particularly with battling with Max. He's very aggressive. And then today, I was fully alongside him, and he didn't let me in space. So.
That looks, Schumacher's off. Schumacher's lost time.
Yeah.
Hill goes by.
Oh, out goes Schumacher. The German is out of the Australian Grand Prix, and Damon Hill only has to keep going to be world champion of 1994, but can he keep going? Schumacher's made the mistake. He hits the wall, he's damaged his own car, and then he comes back to the left, and then he blocks the inside on the right. Damon is coming in. Now that's bad from Schumacher. Schumacher should have known his car was damaged. Damon had the line. And Patrick Head there's looking at that left front wishbone. Hill shaking his head. He knows in his heart of hearts that it is all over.
It's a bit of an empty feeling, but I think I gave him a good run for his money, and he certainly was feeling the pressure because he ended up falling off the road.
This is down at turn 15. Lewis is backing up the pack a little bit. And, he went into him. He might have lost a bit of front wing there, Sebastian Vettel. And he's saying to Hamilton, what did you do? You stamped on the brakes, and I might have damage now on my front wing as a result of it.
You can't do what he did. He's brake tested me, breaking the whole chain together. I hit him.
Vettel literally just came alongside me and turned in and hit me.
This is the opportunity that Senna's looking for, and he's going through. Ouch! Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. They meet. This is what we were fearing might happen during the race. And that means to say that Prost has won the World Championship. Alain Prost, World Champion of 1989.
That is all over for Ayrton Senna, and it was his own fault because of the slow corner. He wasn't past Prost, and he went into a gap, and Prost had every right to turn into him there.
To be very honest, I mean, I'm quite happy to leave because I think it becomes absolutely impossible to work with Ayrton.
I refuse to walk away from the fight. It's my nature to go right to the end, and that's what I'm going to do.
The grid is clear, the lights go, and Senna sprints away, but Alain Prost takes the lead. It's happened. Alain Prost has taken the advantage. Senna is trying to go through on the inside, and it's happened immediately. This is amazing. Senna goes off at the first corner. Well, that is amazing, but I fear absolutely predictable.
Yes, and that makes Ayrton Senna world champion this year. With Prost not finishing the race quite clearly, he's out of his car, stuck in the gravel pit. That, I'm afraid to say, is the end of this year's Drivers' World Championship.
I mean, he is giving it absolutely everything. Both are giving it absolutely everything.
Look at this.
I get the feeling it's going to happen again. Oh, they've touched and they've collided.
Max had been told to give it back. Maybe Lewis doesn't know that.
Well, Max is in the middle of the track. He has slowed down. Hamilton is slowing down too. But then Verstappen has kept applying the brakes. If you're going to give the place back, Martin, don't you want to be one side of the track or the other? Not in the middle of it.
He was to the middle and to the right-hand side of the track. Lewis didn't know what was going on.
I wanted to let him by, so I'm on the right, but he didn't want to overtake, and then we touched. I didn't quite understand why. All of a sudden he hit the brakes quite heavily, and then I ran into the back of him. Then he moved on, so I didn't understand exactly what was going on, and I got a message afterwards that he was going to let us pass, so it was a bit confusing.
If Damon Hill could get past Michael Schumacher and win, it would decrease the gap from 11 points to 7 points.
Oh, what's happened? Damon's lost it, has he? Stops! Off! It's Schumacher. They're both off, they're both out. Here they are, Schumacher on the left, Damon Hill on the right. Damon attacks, goes through on the inside, contact. Now there's going to be a big argument about that. Damon Hill will say, I was close enough to get through on the inside. Schumacher will say, in no way were you. But the result is, of course, that Johnny Herbert is leading the British Grand Prix.
I think it was not necessary what happened there. They could have such a...
Lewis Hamilton wheel to wheel with Nico Rosberg in towards turn 2. His teammates got the inside line. They've touched again. Hamilton runs wide, and is he going to come onto the track and touch his teammate? He's now got damage. Nico Rosberg to his front wing, and Lewis Hamilton does manage to overtake his teammates. Anyone who's selling tickets for the Mercedes debrief today, I'll buy 2 for the front row.
I was struggling to slow the car, but that's the main one really, you know, just struggling to slow the car. But anyways, I'm on the inside, you know, and I have it's my position, and I have the corner, and I have the right to dictate the way.
Oh, and Hill hits Schumacher, and they both go off. This is a repetition of Silverstone. Amazing. Taki Inoue, I don't know whether he got in the way, but Hill attacked, saw his opportunity. opportunity. Schumacher running up to the Williams. Now, is he going to have words with Damon Hill? Damon Hill in the car, and Schumacher shaking his head in disbelief. And there's going to be a big discussion about this as a disgusted, angry Michael Schumacher walks back with Damon Hill.
A big shame, because it's not the first time, it's the second time now I'm in front of Damon, and he took away the possibility for me to extend the lead towards him, which I'm not very happy with.
Now came the year's most controversial incident. Down the hill, Mansell dives out to drive around Senna. The two cars touch and spin off in unison into the dust. Seeing it again, the general consensus is that it was Senna's corner, but between the drivers, feelings were to run high, culminating in fisticuffs in the pits.
Verstappen breaks the toe, and now he's going wheel to wheel with Vettel. Hamilton's coming up on the outside as well. Vettel into turn one. Verstappen round the outside. Hamilton in third place. Verstappen and Vettel touch once again, but this time Vettel picks up a little bit of damage as his front wing there touches Verstappen, and there's more carbon fibre on the track.
Yes, it's awful start for Vettel. He's got a lot of damage already. Will he have damaged the right rear tyre of Max Verstappen?
Valtteri Bottas in a second, and Hamilton's got problems. Hamilton's got a puncture on his right rear tyre. Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel coming together. This is an awful start for Lewis Hamilton, who's going to have to now try and limp back to the pit.
And this is good stuff from Verstappen, because it would be very easy to slot in there, and he's like, no, I'm coming round. They touch tyres. He's got look, it's amazing Verstappen didn't get a puncture. It's not at all amazing that Hamilton did.
Oh, no, but the pit lane's closed, and Hamilton has hit the back of Kimi Raikkonen. Presumably the red light was on, it's green now. I'd love to know whether it was red when Ferrari stopped, but Hamilton has smashed into the back of Raikkonen on their way out of the pit stop.
It was one of those things, I guess, and I mean, I'm not. It's a lot different to if you crash into the wall and you're angry at yourself. I'm not. It's not like that, you know. I apologise to Kimi if if I've ruined his race, but this sort of thing happens. So.
I wonder if he's got something like a slow puncture or some kind of gear shift problem, because Villeneuve is all over him. Look, he's going through. Oh yes. I don't think.
Out goes Michael Schumacher.
That didn't work. That didn't work, Michael. You hit the wrong part of him, my friend. I don't think that will cause Villeneuve a problem.
And if Villeneuve can just keep going in the points, he's won the World Championship of 1997, because out of the race goes Michael Schumacher. He retires on lap 48.
He needs to go defensive. DRS not in play yet, but Hamilton hasn't got the grip that Rosberg has got.
Oh, and to be fair, Hamilton has actually got more of a front wing now. He's got a puncture, Lewis Hamilton. Nico Rosberg's lost a bit of front wing.
Nico hit me. Nico's hit me.
Hamilton on the racing line. Rosberg's entitled to have a look around the outside, but at that point, you've got to get out of it.
Rosberg was never ahead.
No. That was just a little clumsy clip, really, wasn't it?